Imagine being 19 years old, grabbing your phone to scroll through Instagram and finding nothing. Facebook, gone. Twitter, vanished. In one swift midnight decision, Nepal's government had silenced an entire generation's voice, plunging them into a digital blackout. For young people who had grown up with the world at their fingertips, this wasn't just an inconvenience, it was an erasure. But they had profoundly underestimated Gen Z. Within mere hours of this unprecedented shutdown, thousands poured into the ancient streets of Kathmandu. These were not seasoned political activists. They were college students, young workers, and teenagers, many of whom had never known a world without instant digital connection. Their anger wasn't simply about the loss of their favorite apps. It was about being cut off, erased from the conversation about their own future, their identity challenged by a single government decree. The government's response to this spontaneous uprising was swift and brutally uncompromising. The air in the historic streets of Kathmandu quickly filled with the acrid sting of tear gas. Police batons struck young bodies. And then the truly unthinkable happened. The chilling sound of gunfire echoed through the protests. In the ensuing chaos, 19 young lives were tragically lost. Hundreds more bled on hospital floors. Government buildings burned as the raw rage of a generation erupted like a long-dormant volcano. In his quiet office, Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli watched his long political career crumble. The immense pressure, the bloodshed, and widespread condemnation became unbearable. After decades in politics, he submitted his resignation letter with visibly trembling hands. His tenure ending not with a bang, but with the whimper of a generation's fury. Yet, from the heart of this profound chaos, an unlikely and powerful voice began to emerge. Balen Shah, a figure once known primarily as a rapper, spitting sharp bars about corruption, now stood as Kathmandu's mayor. At just 32 years old, he was barely older than many of the protesters. Yet, he carried himself with the profound weight of someone who deeply understood both the raw fury of the streets and the immense price of true change. "This is truly our movement," he declared, his words cutting through the lingering noise of the protests. But then came a harder, more challenging message: practice patience. He understood something the passionate streets did not. He knew that real, lasting change required far more than just anger. It demanded careful strategy and sustained effort. Balen Shah had not always been a figure of calm and measured diplomacy. His past was marked by a fierce nationalism that had, at times, caused significant diplomatic storms, particularly with neighboring India. The controversial Greater Nepal map in his office had been a source of tension. His decisive ban on Indian films further underscored his strong nationalistic leanings. But now, facing the bloodied hopes of his own people, he chose a remarkably different path. Support Sushila Karki, he urged, making a surprising and pivotal endorsement of the former Chief Justice as interim Prime Minister. It was a move that genuinely surprised many. Here was a young, charismatic leader at the peak of a popular movement, choosing to step back when he could have easily seized the moment for himself. Instead, he chose wisdom over ambition and the long-term stability of his nation over personal gain. The movement that had begun with the silencing of phones, with a digital blackout that sought to erase a generation, had, against all odds, found its powerful and undeniable voice. This voice was not found in the tragic violence that claimed 19 innocent lives, nor in the burning buildings. Instead, it emerged from a young leader's courageous midnight decision to prioritize wisdom over ambition and patience over raw power. In that profound and unexpected choice, Gen Z didn't just fight the system. They began the arduous, yet ultimately transformative, process of changing it from within.